Let's see. We need some music for Linda Lovelace. That Lovelace's theme.
Yeah, what do we use?
Don't we have the deep throat?
We have the Deep Throat theme. Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
For sure.
Track 12.
And Linda,
1 or 2?
The original.
Nice.
Lovelace, of course, is the star of one of the biggest porn flicks ever. Some call it the biggest porn flick ever. It grossed millions upon millions of dollars. It was a date night movie. People took their dates to see Deep Throat in 1973 when it came out, which is so strange to think about now. I mean, that would never happen. But it had a story, and so many of those in recent years, well, they might have a story, but not really a story. Although, can you really say, I don't know.
3?
Because he was entering your mouth.
Yeah, something like that.
1, 2.
Like every good wang-to-mouth relationship, there comes a time to call it off.
I'm telling you, man, right now there's a in your girlfriend's mouth.
Ooh.
Man. God. Is this a Deep Throat theme?
It sounds like Bowie. Is that CD3?
Oh, that's Bowie, you're right.
It's just, you just wanted to play Bowie?
No, I thought it was in 2, sorry.
It's a different kind of Deep Throat theme. Deep Throaty Bowie.
I don't know this track.
And then he's singing like this in it.
Well, we gotta find out.
4.
I put worse in my mouth before.
5.
Oh, yeah, me singing like that.
22.
There'll be time.
The hour of dread, darkest hour, and your voice is new. Love is lost, lost is love. She was voted best sex in mouth.
Is he singing that way?
What's that?
I don't think he's singing exactly that
He
way.
always sings like this. I think that's how he talks.
Your house, and even your eyes are new.
Yes, he is singing like that. Every song
sounds very Bowie.
There you go.
There's our Deep Throat theme.
So you're driving in the car?
Oh, yeah. Isn't it an LTD?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it is a Ford LTD.
She's a very slow driver, I can tell you that much.
Oh, yeah.
Took her forever to get where she was going to the house.
It always reminds me of the LTD my mom bought, and that
really?
TV host
Nice.
had previously owned it, and it was burning oil in no time. Piece of crap. Go to hell, Fraser Thomas. Correct.
Nice that this song reminds you of that.
Nice putting your LTD back in the market once it's burning oil. My mom was real proud of the fact that Fraser Thomas had owned it, too, when she first got it. It's like it made it a better car.
You should be putting that mouth to work.
Darwin Porter. Inside Linda Lovelace. I should have the whole title, shouldn't I? Inside Linda Lovelace's Deep Throat, Degradation, Porno Chic, and the Rise of Feminism.
What was the name of her stupid husband?
Chuck Trainer.
Yeah, the Chucker. 5.
Your new wife is a human toilet.
Morning, Darwin.
Good morning.
Well, you've done it again.
Nice to talk to you.
Nice to talk to you. Inside Linda Lovelace's Deep Throat. Boy, we sure did get in there.
This is going to be the year of Linda Lovelace, to be discovered by a new generation. The movie with Amanda Seyfried will be released in June for showing across the country this summer, and my book is being shipped out now. So
wait, is Amanda
Linda is making a return?
Is Amanda playing Linda Lovelace?
Yeah.
Yes, Lindsay Lohan was slated, and of course Lindsay Lohan would have gotten a lot more publicity, but the producers, could you imagine, called her unreliable?
Oh my gosh. How they're
Never
so
heard
rough.
of such a thing.
And who's playing, for example, Linda's love interest, like Chuck, who's a real ass, but she's married to him. Who's playing him?
Well, Peter Sarsgaard. he had to go
Peter
through
Sarsgaard?
debate on whether he wanted to play such a character, and his girlfriend, Maggie Gyllenhaal, Jake Gyllenhaal's sister,
Sure.
Convinced him to do the role. It's a very unattractive role, but someone's got to do it, and I think the most unusual casting is to have Sharon Stone play the puritanical mother.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my God, that is bizarre.
James Franco is going to play Hugh Hefner.
Oh, Franco.
There's an actor named Adam Brody will play Harry Reams, who was the king of porno. Really
The OC?
Not that much
Oh, I remember from the OC. He's got dark hair, right?
Yeah, he was in the OC, wasn't he?
Yeah, he seems like he'd be perfect for Harry Reams if he can grow the mustache.
And by the way, speaking of Harry Reams was a friend of mine, and he died on Tuesday in Salt Lake City. And
he will be missed.
I have many interesting things. We don't really have that much time, but he has a story almost as interesting as Linda's, and we got involved, and I was on that committee. He was arrested 2 years after the release of Deep Throat, and he was singled out by the Nixon administration. He was the only actor that had ever been arrested in America for a performance, and we set up these groups in Los Angeles and New York, and he had no money. He got $250 for Deep Throat, and of course the mafia made $600 million.
Wow.
Now, why did Harry distance himself from Deep Throat? Because he really wasn't terribly proud of it in the end.
Who, Linda?
Harry kind of distanced himself from Deep Throat over the years.
Well, he not as much as Linda did. For example, he settled in Utah, and he kept his name. Mm-hmm. He didn't bother to change his name, and he was quite comfortable, I think. He made 100 porno movies, and he ended up in a very bad way, and I was glad I could help him. He ended up panhandling on Hollywood Boulevard. Wow. Mm-hmm. He was a Jew. He converted to born-again Christianity.
Born again?
And found a wife in 1990.
And he found real estate, too. He was very successful in real estate, I heard.
I figured by then he had a lot of experience with women.
Yeah. Oh.
But I
would guess.
We're talking about Linda, but I'll just tell you a little bit about Harry. Linda became the party favorite for about 3 years in Hollywood.
Mm-hmm. That's what makes the book so good, Darwin.
Having affairs with all these men. Well, Harry was also sought out by a lot of female stars. Really? And a few male ones, too.
Yeah, I bet.
Who are the female stars that sought out Harry Reams? Because, I don't know if that's in the book, but that's very intriguing.
Shelley Winters wanted to go with him. Are you ready? June Allison.
Whoa, June Allison! June Allison wanted to hunker down on Harry?
Yeah, well, June Allison and Van Johnson were quite... In fact, Van Johnson called him. Van Johnson and...
Oh, Van Johnson probably wanted to hunker down.
They were called America's sweethearts in the 1940s.
Wow.
And June Allison and Van Johnson often shared, shall we say, the same merchandise. And
interesting.
And both of these stars were used as party favors because, let's face it, porno doesn't pay. The rate was $75 a day for a woman and $50 for a man. So men could have... Linda thought they should picket and want equal pay with women. A little reverse today.
But you got to have sex at least. I mean, it's not the worst job.
Yeah, but Linda said the hours were awful, and just as a man would get all hot and bothered, the director would call cut. Have to start all over.
Laugh is great.
It was very difficult.
Hey, Darwin, of all the things in the book, I think I got the biggest kick out of was these big stars who basically want to have Linda Lovelace for the things she does so well, and just seeing how they sort of deal with her in order to get her to do what they want her to do, and then how quickly they're out the door when she's done.
Well, that is true. Sammy Davis Jr. is the one who really established her in Hollywood, and of course, one of the first persons he introduced her to was Frank Sinatra, back when they were still speaking and not feuding with each other, and so she early got initiated into the Rat Pack, and also Frank was the one who introduced her to, he'd switched from being a Democrat to a Republican, so he introduced her to Spiro Agnew, who would soon fall into disgrace.
Wait, are you about to tell me that Spiro Agnew, the Vice President of the United States, got a BJ from Linda Lovelace?
Yes, he was the guest at Frank Sinatra's villa, in the Palm Springs.
Oh, my God. Well, yeah, I remember the villa. He actually built that for JFK, I believe, who did not visit, and he was all upset about that. But
exactly, that was the same villa. And, we assumed that Judy Agnew was still back in Baltimore or something.
I can't wait to read that part.
And actually, she was mostly known. Now, remember, her era as a party saver was only for about 2.5 to 3 years.
Oh, but she got so much in, Darwin.
Yeah. Well, if she had to set up a 24-hour booking agency in Hollywood, so it's possible, I've known people who could claim 15 a week. So.
Was there anyone that wanted her for those services that she was so known for that she just went, absolutely not? I'm not doing that to that guy.
Doesn't sound like it.
I don't think so. She was still under the influence of Chuck Traynor, and he viewed her husband, her first husband, and he catered to any star. Maybe if they had third or fourth billing, they were still a star.
Wow.
And they didn't always have to be John Wayne.
Right.
But she had 2 baseball players and 2 politicians, and the first baseball player was Joe DiMaggio when he was in Florida.
Joe D?
Uncut.
He would have been
He went down for when the Yankees they had spring training.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was a hit run, she said. But in Palm Springs, she met Ted Williams, and she later told us that he struck out.
Well, don't tell me Ted Williams. Was he soft? Could he not get it going?
Well, quick on the draw, I think.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not a strikeout necessarily.
It
was really good.
To Linda. And then she had 2 politicians. One was both in Palm
Agnew.
Springs. One was Vice President Agnew, and the other was Senator Ted Kennedy.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, she had the 2 Teds were in the same day, weren't they? Ted Kennedy and Ted Williams?
Yes, I never thought of it.
Yes. You wrote it.
She was very proud of that.
Well, all she would say about Agnew was that he was the cleanest man she ever saw. She said,
what does that mean?
Up to then, it had been William Holden, and
but Sinatra said he took more showers than William Holden. I don't know who was keeping track of all this, but Sinatra had so many funny things to say. I guess
actually, William Holden always said Ronald Reagan was the leader in taking the showers.
How did they know?
Yeah, I'm surprised these people don't have better things to argue about.
Yeah, really.
William Holden told her that Ronald Reagan, who was his best friend, told her that he always had a shower before sex and after sex, immediately after sex. So maybe Ronald Reagan
kind of freaked. The whole thing kind of freaked him out. But Nancy Davis or Nancy Reagan, it sounds like she was the fellatio queen, and Linda Lovelace had a competitive thing about eventually Nancy Reagan. She wanted to top her, and so she wanted Ronald Reagan, but she never did get him.
No, that was never set up because. Well, since you mentioned it, of course, it's been written up in Kitty Kelly's. Nancy Reagan was. Her name was Nancy Davis. Was known as the fellatio queen of Hollywood.
Congratulations! Isn't that sweet?
Michael Reagan once said on the air. He said, "If Nancy knew that one day she would be first lady, she might have behaved differently in the late 40s."
Oh, what a shame that is. But, what a laugh it is to read about Linda and her experience with, for example, Johnny Carson, who sits there watching The Tonight Show with her, basically critiquing himself while Linda just sort of watches this spectacle. And then as the Tonight Show winds up, of course, she starts taking her clothes off. The next thing you know, it's going down, and the next thing you know, it's over, and Carson is like up in the bathroom washing up and putting his clothes on. It sounded like he was out of there in 2 minutes flat.
Well, he was also involved with another hot woman at the time, so he had to get back to the hotel, to the Plaza Hotel, and he had other business to take care of.
But he said she could have that fancy room for a couple nights, and then the next night Ed McMahon shows up and says, "Hey, Chuck, her husband is not supposed to be on the premises," and then Ed proceeds to get his.
Well, Ed McMahon was really one of the first people in New York, and I was here at that time, to really publicize that movie. And then Johnny Carson started making all these jokes, and even Bob Hope at the Oscar ceremony. I mean, Linda had really entered the mainstream. And then, of course, when the reporters, Bob Woodward and Carl Bernstein, named Mark Felt as their Deep Throat, that really made it, because then Deep Throat helped overthrow the Nixon administration.
You mentioned Bob Hope. Did Bob Hope ever get with Linda?
No, not to my knowledge.
God.
Although he would have.
He could have got that thing up.
Yes, wait a minute.
What?
Yes,
What?
he did.
What? No way, Bob.
You're just making that up.
Right there, Linda. That's great, Linda.
Her,
Just a little more, Linda.
the man she became involved with, and he's still alive. He did, like a racing car special with Paul Newman. He knew David Winters. He's still alive. He knew everyone in Hollywood. And when Linda appeared in Las Vegas in a sort of a XX-rated thing, and Bob Hope and Milton Berle were friends of David Winters, and both of them were invited to see the play. The play was horrible, and it failed miserably. But Bob Hope, and then on a separate night, Milton Berle attended.
Milton Berle. Now, did Milton Berle have her too? Because he's hung like crazy, wasn't he?
Yes, and on that scorecard, Milton Berle won by a country mile.
This is Darwin's laugh.
In fact, Milton Berle, I think, and Bob Hope were the last on her agenda before.
Wow.
How's he going to go Milty in there, huh? How about that?
Well, we know.
Like she explained that other actresses have said that too. She said, just one day, almost overnight, the phone stopped ringing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, how sad.
And then that began a very tragic part of a downward spiral in her life.
I'm so sorry.
Let's focus on the happy times.
Sure.
Yeah, Elvis got in there. Did anyone else, like any Beatle, get in there or try to get in there?
John Lennon.
Yeah. Lennon.
John Lennon.
Yeah, that's right.
Now, the interesting thing, in fact, actually, I have that quote here. She said that the thing that surprised her about John Lennon, although he was very, very nice to her, she said that he spoke in certain terms, sexual terms that were known to Shakespeare and Elizabeth I, and so they had a few mixed signals,
No.
Meaning he used Elizabethan terms for certain things.
I'm so confused.
If you're in love, you'll know what I'm talking about.
No, I haven't seen it.
Bizarre.
I'm so lost right now.
But she did manage to put his penis in her mouth, which is what she was trying to do. I mean, regardless of what he said or meant.
And she suggested that, like the Elizabethans, John didn't always take a bath.
Oh, he stunk. Oh, John stunk. No,
like Frank Sinatra.
He's a Beatle. He can smell.
Yeah.
No, well, not if he's uncut.
I think you got to. That was part of what stunk.
I think it was full of smegma.
Yeah. How huge are you, by the way?
Word.
You have Linda Lovelace coming over, and even that's not even. You can't even get a shower off.
He was a perfect gentleman.
That's fine. He stunk, but
it was, in fact, John Lennon was in New York at the time, and he was one of the first people who called her. He called the director of Deep Throat, who put her in touch with John Lennon, and he met her in an apartment in Greenwich Village. So Ed McMahon, and Johnny Carson were the first. Now, remember, she'd had those experiences. Like,
threesome.
Oh, no, the first was Steve McQueen.
Oh, yeah. Of course.
And Steve McQueen was making pornos on his own when he was a younger guy, apparently, right?
In Havana.
Yeah.
Yes.
Three shots a day or something?
Yeah.
I'll tell you how I met. I wrote about that. I did a book on Steve McQueen called King of Cool, and I met him in. It was actually when I was helping raise money to defend Harry Reams on the First Amendment charge, and by the way, I want to say the big contributors were Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton, Laurence Olivier, Anne Bancroft, Paul Newman, Warren Beatty, and Jack Nicholson. But then Steve McQueen called our committee, and he wanted to meet Harry Reams and became the biggest contributor, and he and Harry hung out for 2 years together in Hollywood. They became very good friends.
Wow.
But he did do, usually Hugh Jackman, when he did a play on Broadway, he mentioned biography. It was Judy Garland, The Boy from Oz, and he said, on movie star biographies, I always skip the first 3 chapters and start on chapter 4 when they meet Elizabeth Taylor. But in the case of Steve McQueen, as a teenager, had a fantastic life.
Yeah, he sure did.
And he met Linda in Miami when Chuck Traynor was running. Can I say this on TV?
Yeah, go ahead. Give it a shot.
A titty bar?
That was adorable, Darwin.
Yeah, that was sweet.
And they showed porno movie. And oddly enough, it was across from the police station in North Miami Beach.
Oh, man. Across the street?
Across the street.
Really? Inside Linda Lovelace's deep throat, degradation, porno chic, and the rise of feminism. We're talking to Darwin Porter, the author of this sordid yet oh so entertaining book. One of the things I've been doing is looking in the index just to see certain. I go, oh my God, Bob Hope.
Name appears.
Well, unfortunately, I'm not in there. But for example, Ron Howard's in there in a couple pages. Did Ron Howard? Did he have Linda Lovelace?
No. But the reason he's in there, Ron Howard, believe it or not, took the original option on to make the Linda Lovelace movie.
Oh, I believe it.
Really?
He makes great movies. Why not?
Yeah, and so did Milton Berle. In fact, speaking of one of Nancy Davis's former lovers was Milton Berle.
So she had Milton Berle's thing?
Yeah, Nancy Davis was involved with Milton Berle, yeah.
Really? Oh, my God. So was she a size queen before she was first lady?
You obviously haven't read the book that I am yet to write on the triangle of Jane Wyman, the first wife of Ronald Reagan, Nancy Davis, and Ronald Reagan.
I wish you would write it.
About the thing I'm strong on are what they did in their Hollywood years.
Yeah, I'd definitely like to read that, Darwin. When's that coming out?
Well, to be blunt, out of respect for our former First Lady, I'm going to wait it out.
Darwin, you've got her as a fellatio queen in this book. What are you talking about? What's the difference?
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, he does.
She's
basically gone anyways.
Me before, but Nancy Reagan is not going to sue me. I mean,
no.
She would not. Do you realize the publicity that would generate?
Oh yeah, she'd basically be telling the world, "Yep, I filleted half of Hollywood in the '40s. That's me."
Plus, you can't sue for defamation of character on something like The Size Queen. It's true.
You know that Nancy Reagan originally
it's not a bad thing anyway.
Married Clark Gable.
No, exactly.
Clark Gable?
Yeah, she wanted to marry Clark Gable. By the way, Linda used to rate people on 1 to 10, but if you remember these two actors, she gave them a 13. They were John Ireland and Forrest Tucker.
Forrest Tucker from F Troop?
Yes. She said,
really?
She said those two men should be crowned the king of Hollywood, sharing the crown.
Oh, my God.
Wow. And you had another interesting revelation on page 581 and 82. I'll never forget the pages. Led Zeppelin thought that Linda Lovelace was showing up backstage to fillet them all individually. She was showing up to meet them. She apparently wasn't ready to do that, but I guess they were all a little surprised that she didn't do her thing.
Her reputation had preceded her. And at that point, that is when they arrived too late because she had turned her back then on porno.
Oh, man. She couldn't just, for old time's sake, take care of Led Zeppelin?
She's still with them backstage.
It's Led Zeppelin.
She's already halfway there.
I told her, I said, you're living on ketchup sandwiches in Long Island. You're married to another man. You've got 2 children. And a company in Italy wants to give you $1 million. And why don't you just do that?
Yeah, get on it.
get on, and I mean, because you're always, they're showing movies with her with a dog.
Mm-hmm.
Was Linda with a dog in a movie? I didn't see that.
Was it a black dog?
Must have been Lassie or somebody famous.
It became a very, in fact, it still is a very famous movie, and I couldn't understand a woman who needed money so desperately. She just refused to take off her clothes, and in fact, I told her, I said, I wish I had been your manager, and you would have at least $18 million in the bank, because she got offers from sponsors and everything, and they wanted to even do like the Linda Lovelace candy bar. Needless to say, if you bite into it, what happens?
And had you managed her too, maybe she could have skipped the dog movie.
Yeah.
That would have been a good career move, possibly.
Well, she said she did that at Chuck Trainer had trained a gun on her. Now,
do you believe they had a gun on the dog too?
Oh, you didn't. Come on, it's a dog.
Well,
dog would have eaten garbage.
It did.
In 1988, though, 32 publishers in New York turned down not my book, but a book, a proposal really, that outed many of these stories I'm telling you, and no one would touch it.
Sammy Davis, I got to believe that, his dying and Altavi's, for that matter, probably good for the storytelling, because Sammy, not only does he really goes out with her for a long time, and the wife takes on Chuck, but then he puts the two girls together, and then Sammy performs fellatio on Linda's husband, Chuck. Sammy Davis Jr., what the hell was that?
Well, Linda told me that was the greatest triumph of her life, because she had been used by Chuck Trainer so much, and she knew that because Chuck was really catering to Sammy's every wish, and she knew that Chuck would have to cooperate, even though I think he was actually homophobic. And but she had him there, and she viewed it as a triumph, because finally there had been a reversal of fortune, and now he was having to be the whore.
Yes. Well, good for Sammy.
When he got her home, he beat hell out of her. But
it sounded like he liked it, though. He seemed to enjoy Sammy's work, so...
So she taught him well.
Sammy Davis Jr. He's his own story, and you see, he also loved porno stars. He took up after Linda with Marilyn Chambers, who was the second most famous female porno star in America. Behind the Green Door and all those.
Oh yeah.
And Chuck ended up marrying Marilyn Chambers, so. It's an amazing story there. Wow. Of course, he didn't mind lending his second wife, to Sammy. But Sammy was also involved in the Church of Satan, and he got Linda.
Is that true?
Yeah, it's been out there for a long time.
That was a rumor. Yeah, nasty. We got to ask you though. I mean, did you ever? And you don't have to answer, but did you ever get with Linda?
No.
No. Okay.
No, I never did, because actually, I met her in 1988, and believe it or not, she was faithful to her husband. I mean, at that point in her life, she was not screwing around, so to speak.
Okay. Wow, you've got 600 pages that say it otherwise. No,
I mean in 1988.
Yeah, no, I know, but it's just funny.
In fact, she wore high-neck dresses, and
she became kind of an anti-porn person by then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but just to close off. In her final months of her life, she sort of changed that. She posed for, I don't know if it's in Detroit, this Leg magazine. She posed, it's a sort of a girly magazine, not as high class as Playboy, and she started going to porn conventions and started selling deep throat memorabilia. So she sort of fell out with the feminists.
She
didn't go back to her old
sex in mouth.
She was already 52 years old.
Yeah.
But she did started for the first time in her life. She started to make money off deep throat.
Wow. Okay. Well, good.
Okay. Well, listen, it's been great talking to you guys.
Yeah, Darwin Porter, thanks again. Appreciate the time, and another great story inside Linda Lovelace's deep throat. And we're just waiting for the next one.
Well, it's on the way.
Thank you,
I'll
Darwin.
even tell you about it's the 3 Gabor sisters.
Oh,
nice.
brilliant!
Wow.
Bring it on.
Zsa Zsa, Eva.
Okay.
Let's
Have
go,
a great
Darwin.
day.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye-bye.
Who's the third sister?
Zsa Zsa,
Eva.
Eva, and
Prince von Frederick von Anhalt. Zsa Zsa,
Miss Mina.
Eva, and Magda.
Magda. That's it.
You could listen to him tell stories.
gay?
I don't know. I didn't think he was.
He sounds like it, but I'm not sure that he is.
Started Frommer's, and he hung out with Harry Reams.
Yeah, Harry Reams is a good buddy. He helped Harry Reams off of Skid Row.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's why I thought he knew Linda back then, and it was possible, but just because he knew Reams. Maybe he sampled Reams.
Reams.
That's really interesting, though, that all these male actors in Hollywood, of course, went after Linda, as we know, but then the females actually went after Reams to do that.
I wish he would have given us more data on that. I guess that's probably an upcoming book.
He's too protective.
Yeah, knock it off. He's not that protective.
It's too soon. He just passed.
He's doing such a great job of protecting Nancy Davis. Nancy Reagan.
That was great. I'm glad you called him out on that.
Come on.
Darwin.
Yeah, I mean, he calls her the so-called fellatio queen, so...
But he doesn't want to write the book till she's dead, which I always thought that was weird. At least give him a chance to respond.
Oh, definitely.
Your new wife is a human toilet.
I know, it's a lot.
really
It's so much wilder than anyone dreams.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone thinks, oh, God, people were so square back then. These people were crazy.
Probably more so than the 80s or 90s.
Sure, a lot of screwing.
So weird.
What's that?
It seems so weird that's true.
Yeah, they were doing so much screwing.
Having XXX movies playing in theaters, it just seems so. I can't imagine that.
Even before that, like in the 40s and 50s, they were wild too. Because they were all like, not sequestered, but they were all such a small, tight knit community that they all passed each other around.
I know. And then going into the 70s, the 60s and 70s,
and then
in New
AIDS
York
hits, and it all gets ruined.
Yeah,
thanks a lot, AIDS.
I know.
Way to go, AIDS.
Way to go, gay
dick,
people and intravenous drug users.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Oh, Sonny, those were crazy times. We used to give each other wet willies and funny arms. We'd play legs a spread and penis butt.
Yeah.
George Burns?
There was a lot of penis butt.
Legs a spread's good too. A good game of legs a spread is awesome. Can't knock that.
Once again, Darwin Porter inside Linda Lovelace's deep throat, and thanks to Darwin for all that time he gave us on 101 WRIF.
Nasty.
Like every good wang to mouth relationship, there comes a time to call it off.
You should be putting that mouth to work.